Hello, my name is Sarah Sloan, and you are listening to The Sarah Sloan Show. How are you guys? I hope you're doing okay. Man, you would think like shopping in the Black Friday season wouldn't be stressful, but it low key, high key, everything key kind of is. It's just like, I've told you guys already, I'm going to get a new phone at some point. Trying to think, maybe the best deals would be like during Black Friday. But it is just stressful. And Verizon, they are tricksters, I'm telling you guys. So they had this deal last year, and they have it again, where if you bought the newest Pro version of their phones, then they would also put in a free iPad and a free Apple Watch. And even last year, they also included like their little Beats headphones. And so I was like, oh, that's a great deal. Like, wow, that's awesome. But little caveat there, each of those items must have a data service plan with it. So frustrating. It was so frustrating to figure that out. Because it was in the fine print. And, guess who doesn't always read the fine print? Yeah, that girl behind me. Not me. I always read it. And so whenever I realized that, I was just like, wow, this is such a dumb deal. Can you imagine how much that would be altogether? It'd probably be like, oh my gosh, like what, $200 a month or something? So stupid. And yeah, the thing is, I don't even like Apple Watches, but I was like, hey, if it's free, I don't mind. I was even talking about, oh, I'll sell it. I'll sell it on eBay. I'll make so much money. Like, what a dummy. I felt very gullible. So yeah, thanks Verizon. But yeah, then you got to like check on how much you can get a trade-in for. Oh, is it worth the trade-in value? Because you're giving your phone away. You could at least still use it like an iPod Touch if you kept it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm so over it. But nevertheless, I'm still excited to get a new phone and have USB-C and not Lightning anymore, which, yeah, if you don't know the difference, try to learn because I think it is important and valuable. The last 30 minutes, I've been debating with my sister on what charging bricks she should get, what kind of cords she should get, the wattage of power that can go through the cords, through the charging brick, etc., which brand is better, if it's Anker, Ugreen, Baseus, whatever it might be. And so it's a big dilemma. And yeah, there was real emotion. The thing is, it's like, I feel like I know a little bit more about this stuff. I'm definitely not an expert, but I know a little bit more than the average person does. And then she doesn't know anything. But then she'll be like, she just wants the cheapest thing. But at the same time, you can't go too cheap or you're going to get ripped off. So you need to be willing to spend a little bit of money. And so then, we fight and all that. And and there's scars and wounds. So not always external, but sometimes internal. Sometimes both. Internal. But yeah. But yeah, we went to a store. We were looking at the new phones, and it's crazy all the stuff it could do. It's beautiful. Okay, did you guys hear the crazy story with Xi Jinping, the Chinese what is it, president, leader, who knows? But he's a dictator. He always wins every election. Oh, I wonder how that happens. So crazy. And he was visiting California, and as you know, with California, things have been just a mess. It's hideous there, the homeless population, and nobody does anything to clean it up. There's drugs, there's needles all around. It's just not safe like it used to be. And so then he's coming to visit, and voila, the governor Gavin Newsom, he decides to just clean everything up in a matter of days, and it's spotless and it's gorgeous. And they moved the homeless community, and they got it all dealt with. And it just really makes you think. And yeah, he said some crazy thing. I'll try to insert a clip of it, about why he did and everything. It was kind of funny.
Transformation. Beleaguered San Francisco is suddenly spotless. The junkies are gone. The homeless camps have disappeared. Crime, evidently, is no longer a problem. And no, Batman didn't show up. But President Biden will later this week for the APEC summit that includes the president of China. The Secret Service put its big fences in to keep people out. Thus, San Francisco is now almost livable again. But the governor says it won't last long.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true because it's true. But it's also true for months and months and months prior to APEC, we've been having different conversations.
But it does make you think, why were you willing to do this for a leader of another country, but not for your own citizens? You let San Diego be in disarray for years, and it was no issue. All these people left your state. They're moving to Arizona, to Texas. Trust me, I know they're moving to Texas. We've really sensed it with the traffic and the real estate, home prices going up. And so, yeah, we've seen it. And they're all leaving your state, dude. But yeah, you didn't care. You didn't want to do anything until Xi Jinping comes. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, you guys go to Panda Express together for all I care. Okay, well, I do care. Okay, so President Biden, we love him, right? Our favorite president. Should I speak for myself? He is turning 81. And so I think that's very exciting. I think he's our oldest president. So does he look good for his age? Yeah, he looks good for his age. I've seen men look better at 81, but he's skinny and everything. Although those pictures of him at the beach kind of showed me differently. I was like, wow, a suit really can hide stuff. Versus I feel like dresses, whenever women have to wear like formal dresses, it doesn't hide anything. You see all of it. It's so unfair. But yeah, he was a journalist asked the press secretary what he was going to be doing for his birthday. And guys, this is insane. I don't think it's right what he's doing.
Okay, I have another topic. How is the president planning to mark his birthday? I ask because he mentioned it during the turkey party. It looks like he's got some family here. We're gonna have like a party or a dinner. Okay.
So he's gonna do what they normally do, how they celebrate the president's birthday. There's a tradition, which they're gonna keep to that tradition, which is they'll be able to celebrate the president's birthday as a family together in Nantucket later this week, and certainly we'll do that with coconut cake, which is something that they traditionally do. Okay.
That's unacceptable. When you start hitting 80 or older, you really got to party because you don't know if this birthday could be your last. And coconut cake, like, I'm sure it's good, but that's the best you can do with all that money, all that president money you have. I would go to the nines. I would get that cake boss guy, and I'd have him make me like an image of myself. Not idolatry. Please. You know me better than that. But it would have like the best stuff. Probably it'd be like a tiramisu cake, coffee infused with some chocolate and mascarpone and like cannolis all around it. Oh, I'd go to town on that. But coconut cake with the family? And she seemed like so uncomfortable answering that. I don't know why. Like, it's just his birthday. Why is this a big deal? But guys, he's old. He's really old. Imagine if he was to have 4 more years. It's kind of insane to think about. And not a good insane at all. Oh man. Okay, so I have a little thing for watches. Like, you're not gonna see me spend like a crazy amount of money on it, but I do like, I'll watch some YouTube videos, I'll buy a few, but they're usually just like the cheapest ones possible. And so then I was, some of them died, and rather than go to the jewelry shop and have a battery watch replacement for $15, I thought, well, I'm seeing on Amazon you can get these watch batteries 5 for like $7, and I could do it myself. And I'm watching YouTube videos on how to do it, and and I get one to kind of work, but the issue is I replaced the battery, but I can't get the lid on the watch back on. Because I think I had asked my parents, like, do you have any dead watches right now? And they gave me some of theirs. And so, but yeah, it was my dad's, and I could not get the lid back on for the life of me. It was really, really difficult. And so then I was like, well, I need a little tool. And I saw this on Amazon. There was this little, like, kind of a watch press thing. You, like, twist it. It's like, it's metal. It's not like the nicest thing, but it's supposed to kind of help you do it. And so I'm really going at it. I have like 3 watches in front of me, and I'm really trying to like replace all these batteries. And once again, easy to get the watch lid off, easy to put the battery in, but the lid is the issue. Putting back that lid is just impossible. And it makes sense. Like, you don't want water to get in, dust, debris, anything like that. So that's kind of what makes it difficult. And so I'm using that watch press thing, and I'm trying everything. I cannot get it to work. And I kind of realized, like, I was doing it, like, totally incorrectly after the fact. But like I said, that was after the fact. And I break 2 watches. And they weren't like crazy expensive watches. Like, they couldn't have been much over $100. So it's not like Rolex. Like, oh man, if you have a Rolex, please just go to a jeweler for everything you need. Do not ever trust anybody to do it at home if it's a Rolex. But and I guess, yeah, don't trust me in general with any watch, even if it's like a $5 watch. But still, they were broken. I knew what I did. I knew how I broke them, and it was just like so sad because, you know, these are watches that we've had for so long. And then I didn't go. My mom, she went into the jewelry shop, and she was just like, hey, how much does it cost to get these watches fixed? And they say, the gall that they have, they know what kind of watches they are. They know everything. It's not like they were blind. $375 per watch to fix. More than the watch is worth, basically. And yeah, I'm sure, you know, people that work at jewelry shops, they have their reasonings and all that. And I'm sure it probably isn't easy. It's a lot of work and all that kind of stuff. But man, at that point, it was just like, okay, we're just going to throw the watches away. And I felt bad. But yeah, so now give me your watches, please, and I can replace the batteries. I did do it for this watch. I did it for this one, and it worked. Now, I will say, I used to be able to use it in the shower and no issue, nothing ever happened. But now if I bring it into the shower, it will fog up a little bit inside the screen. I always have to take it apart, wipe out the water, and then try again. So I'm really good at this is basically my point. So now I can't shower with my watch on, which I love doing. But yeah, I'm a pro. I'm an expert. All right. Oh yeah, Tim Scott, he left the presidential run on the Republican side. He's not going to be in the race any longer, which I know is like really sad for a lot of you people that love Tim Scott. Where are you guys? Can you guys raise your hand? Hey guys, I need somebody to, can one person raise their hand? Oh, okay, so nobody cared. Listen, he's a great guy. He's a very nice senator. He's a godly man. I thought it was a little mean that, you know, he's single, and they were all like, why is he still single at this age? You know, all that. I thought that was kind of mean because it's just like, that's really unfair. You know, if he wants to stay single, he could stay single. And then he had this like lady who was walking around with someone just posing as his girlfriend. So I don't know. I don't know anything about Tim Scott, but all I know is what he said. He said, it's not my time. The people, they don't want me now. And that is 100% true. And I respect the fact that he left the race because Chris Christie should be doing the same thing. He has no chance at winning. We all know that. Nothing's going to happen to get this guy to win. If I end up being wrong, seriously, I'll do something. I don't know what I'll do. I'll do something. One YouTuber I watched, it's like he does Apple videos. Shocker that I watched that. Because I'm so obsessed. And he made some like guess on Apple's gonna do this or not do that, and he's like, and if I'm wrong, I'll shave off my eyebrows. And he was wrong, and he did actually shave off his eyebrows. And I was just like, I really respect you so much for doing that. It was very funny to me, but also kind of sad.
Oh no, for the kids. For the kids! Can you see it? Is it bad? Okay. Shh. Karina, don't say anything. She's freaking out.
Do it.
Okay. I can't even see it yet. Okay.
Oh my god!
Is it bad? Babe, is it bad? Should I go over it again? Can you tell it's gone? Is it bad? Is it bad? Oh no!
Sorry, back to me. I am not going to do anything like that. Okay, so this is what I look like without eyebrows. Hey! I think I'm in a weird mood. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I think there's something going on with me today. And a lot of you are like, skip to the next video. I don't like this anymore. She's a weirdo. But if you haven't figured that out by now, then I don't think you ever will. I'm a freak. Anyway. Tim Scott, we'll miss you. Psych. We'll see you in the Senate. We'll still see you all the time. But no, it was not his time at all. So I think that the interesting thing, though, right now in the race is it's been like Trump by a long shot, and then DeSantis, and then Haley, and then Vivek. It's been that kind of recently. It seems like Haley is giving DeSantis a run for his money. She is, in some states, she's second place. I think New Hampshire especially. And so whenever she was in New Hampshire, somebody asked her if she would pick Chris Christie to be her VP. Now, here's one question. Okay, so she might, who knows, she might do it, like, blah, blah, blah. Would he accept? Now, let's think about that for 2 seconds. Yes, he would. He would do anything to have more power. He would do anything to be in a position. That's all he has. All he has is his seeking of power. And it is sad, but I'm sorry, it is what it is. So, yes, if she asked him, he would say yes. But also, let's go back to the basics here. They're trying to act like she's actually going to win. I think that's hilarious. She's not going to win. She's got zero chance. And she keeps on doing all this crap talking about Vivek, just like, you know, Vivek, he was insulting me. He was insulting Ronna McDaniel. He was insulting this person. It was some other lady. He's like, I think, Kristen Welker, she was the debate moderator of the last Republican debate. She's like, I think he's got a woman problem. Yeah, he's got a woman problem.
Happens, he comes out of the gate, he hits the female chair of the party, he hits the female anchor on the platform, and then he hits me. And I'm not saying anything.
I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
But he might have a girl problem. I'm just saying he might have a girl problem.
Yeah, she can do it. Totally. She could do these like kind of sexist attacks, basically just putting everything on the fact that she's a woman. She has every right to do it. No one's ever going to stop her. Free speech, totally. But is that admirable? Is that cool? Is that respectable? No. So yeah, because I know some people are like, well, she needs to use her line of attack. Sure, she can. But all I'm saying is, all this, women are just as good as men. Women can take it just as can be just as tough as men. They could take it. They could dish it. All that kind of stuff. We got everything that men have. Then take the attacks. Take it and go on with it. Don't lean on the crutch of, I'm a woman. Wow, he's got a woman problem. He's sexist, blah, blah, blah. He's attacking men. He attacks men all the time. And the fact that he had to answer that. He had to say, are you sexist? Like, no, he's not. It's just so silly. It really looks bad on her part. So, but anyway, she was asked about Chris Christie being her VP. Here is her response.
Is that I haven't even thought about like a vice presidential candidate, but I can tell you what I know I want. What I want is, I don't care what gender they are. I don't care what race they are. What I want is someone that's willing to go in there and do the hard work, because this is going to be a brutal 8 years. Someone who's going to be a true partner. Someone who's going to make me better. And someone who's going to give you comfort that if something were to happen, they can pick it up and keep going right where they are. What I won't do is, you're not going to see me go and this is agencies too. I don't go put political people or donors into spots. I put people that I know can really help me get the results I need. Chris is a friend. I've known him a long time. You know, governors all get along just fine. But at the end of the day, my focus is, how do I win everybody in this room and make sure that we make it on to South Carolina, which is my home state, where we will go head-to-head with Trump. That's what our focus is to make sure we're doing that. But what I can promise you is, you'll love my VP, whoever that may be.
So I thought she gave actually a lot of insight in that answer. First thing, she said, she has not even thought about it. Well, Nikki, sweetie, baby, gorgeous. Didn't you say that you know you're going to be president, you have zero doubt in your mind, you're running to win, you need to have that in place. You need to already know who your VP is. In my opinion, you got to have somebody in mind before you even start running. Why not? Supposedly you're running to win. Or is she running to win? I would say if there was somebody else in front of you that had over 50% of the vote and you're trailing way behind in single digits of support, I would say you're not running to win. You're going to see how well you could do, but you're not really running to win. She's a planner. She's always got an answer. She's always got something to say. She never says, I don't know. That's not her. That's one thing you got to give her, even though I'm not the biggest fan, you know. So that was the first insight. Then I hope you noticed in her description of who she wants and who she doesn't want. She gave a nice description there. Obviously, I love the fact that she said, doesn't care about the race, doesn't care about the gender. Thank God. If only Biden had done that, he wouldn't have Kamala. I think it's better that he has Kamala because overall it helps us that people don't like her and him collectively. Because if there had been someone that was really awesome that was his VP, that could be hurting us now because everyone could say, well, Biden's going to die and then the VP. But now people are like, Biden's going to die and then the VP. You know, they're saying it in more of a scared sense. But she keeps her options open at least to not select based on that criteria because that is racist and sexist. When Biden said, I'm going to have a black woman, that was racist and sexist. Because you weren't trying to pick the best person. Also, I want the best person. Just like, you know, they're doing that apparently with airline pilots. Oh, okay, well, we're going to choose based off of diversity. No, can you please just choose the best pilot, please? Is that okay with you? Can you please? So she kept her options open there. And then she was saying, like, hard worker, blah, blah, blah. She said all that kind of stuff. Nikki, sweetie, based on every criteria you gave there, Vivek is a possibility for your VP. And I think that's so awesome that you guys are going to be able to work together. And even though you've hated each other, you want to tear each other's hair out, you like insulting, he likes insulting your daughter, you like insulting his TikTok. I think you guys will make a great pair as far as president and VP. So, yeah, she didn't knock him out as a choice. And then the last thing she said is, she was really focusing on the fact that she wants to pick someone that everybody's going to like, that everybody's going to be in support of. I know that's pretty much like, well, duh. Wouldn't that always be the case? Why would they pick somebody that's polarizing that everybody's going to hate? But that is truly what she's thinking about on every single issue and every single topic. Anything she talks about, she is thinking about what the most people will like. That's not always a bad thing. I know that. But I like a leader who's willing to do what's not popular because it's the right thing. And she is not that way. So that scares me a little bit. So that answer was extremely helpful. And I'm really glad whoever asked that question. So, but yeah, she is doing better in this race. You got to give her that. Even if I won't. So Argentina, they just had an election pretty recently. And they have a new president. And, you know, it's kind of exciting. I hear this a lot, like, oh, this country just had an election and they have a president who's like Trump. So now they're saying it again with Argentina. So yeah, this guy is apparently just like Trump is what they keep on saying. And Trump even, he's excited for the guy. He's like, the whole world was watching. I'm very proud of you. You will turn your country around and truly make Argentina great again. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. And yeah, there were senators and there were representatives that were wishing him well. The guy's name is kind of hard to say, so I'm not even gonna Millie. I don't even know why I bothered. And he's apparently a libertarian economist, and he really was pushing for smaller government. And yeah, he made a public appearance wielding a chainsaw as a symbol of his desire to cut spending. So everyone's like, "Whoa, that's very different." But spending is terrible everywhere, especially in this country. So if somebody did that, although it would catch me off guard, I'd be like, yeah, I'd give them a standing O. Okay, so Argentina, it's South America's second largest economy, and they are not doing well economically, and their inflation during October, it was past 140%. So things are not going well. And so I think part of the reason why this guy was able to be elected was because of desperation. And he's just going to do everything differently. People are just like, let's just pick somebody different. Let's just pick somebody that can do something. So we'll see. We'll see. And Biden even congratulated this guy on being president. And yeah. I think it'll be fun to watch him in the news to see what this guy has to say. So in that sense. But yeah, we will keep watch on Argentina. And then, what was the next thing? Let's see. Ooh, okay. So Abbott, Texas governor, he endorsed Trump. You know, it's about a year out from the election. The election is going to be happening next year. It always happens November, early November. So he endorsed Trump, and they did it during a campaign event in Edinburgh, which is a city about 30 miles away from the Mexican border, which, yeah, I'm sure that going around that area is not pleasant. But he was saying, we need a president who's going to secure the border. We need a president who's going to restore law and order in the United States of America, not letting these criminals ransack over the stores that you see images of almost nightly. We need a president who's going to restore world peace as opposed to this outbreak of warfare under Joe Biden. We need Donald J. Trump back as our president of the United States of America. I'm here to officially proclaim my endorsement for Donald Trump to be president of the United States of America again. It was, yeah, a few hundred supporters there. Trump said it was a tremendous honor. And Trump was saying he's going to build a border wall if elected. He said Abbott's job would make it, he would make Abbott's job much easier because walls do work. So I think overall, Abbott, not my favorite Texas governor. Really glad that there's term limits, and I think he's in his last term. I'm pretty sure of that at least. And very grateful for the fact that he's going to be done. But also, this guy's not stupid. You got to give him that. If you push Abbott, he will do the right thing. You got to push him pretty hard, but if you push him enough, he's going to do the right thing. And he'll, in his wheelchair, he'll keep rolling towards the right direction. And so that's exciting, at least. Unless he's got some serious breaks on the mechanics of his wheelchair, nobody really knows. It doesn't. I'm taking a look at his wheelchair right now. It doesn't look like it's really machine operated, but I think it should be, is my opinion. So, I'm glad he endorsed him. If he had not endorsed him, I would have been on this show complaining about it. So, he made the right move. I do wonder, I think he could have done it earlier, but honestly, it's a year out. It's okay. It's okay. I do know this. I bet you Abbott may run in the future for president. Not this time. He's not stupid. But I also want to say, I'm really glad he didn't run this term. I prefer when people that are already in their positions finish out their term and then run for the next thing. Whenever you are, for example, I'm thinking of DeSantis, whenever you're running for governor and you're telling all these people what you're going to do in these 4 years and you're not even close to being done with the 4-year term and it's your last term and you're already moving on to being president, you're obviously not giving your full effort to being governor of Florida and you're not fulfilling the promises. And also, if you were to win, that would cut your governorship in half. There would be a special election and we could get somebody really bad in Florida and things would not be going so well in that state. And so I think it does a disservice whenever people are just already looking to the better position just because all these people are telling them that it's their time and it's got to be now or it's never going to happen. And obviously, yeah, I made this about DeSantis whenever it was really about Abbott in the first place, but it's kind of what I do. Not proud of it, but yeah. Okay, so this is some good news, in my opinion. Other people are going to think differently, but Congress is releasing their first batch of 40,000 hours of January 6th footage to the public. So this is great. Mike Johnson. Thank you for doing this, Mike Johnson. I wanted to kind of warn you that I was going to be clapping louder, so I did it quietly at first, and I thought you guys would kind of get the message, but if you didn't, I'm sorry about that. I'm so glad about this because why was it not available in the first place? Why why are we just now seeing this? January 6, 2021. It's November 2023. They could have released that footage the day of. There was no reason that it had to be released 2 years later. I just don't get that. Remember back, we talked about Lauren Boebert, and she's a Colorado representative, and she was in a theater with her boyfriend, and they were kind of fondling each other sexually. The video of that came out in seconds. Everybody could see that. It shows you they can release footage when they want to, but they didn't want to. Now, why wouldn't they want to release that footage? Well, it was Trump's last days of his presidency, and Biden was going to be coming in. And we know Biden could have released it probably if he wanted to. But who would it hurt? Who would it help to release this footage? Well, think about it. Who's doing it in the first place? Mike Johnson is releasing this footage. He's a Republican. Who's upset about the fact that they're releasing this footage? A lot of people on their left are upset that they're releasing this footage. I think it's a good thing overall. And it's going to hurt the Democrats and help the Republicans to release this footage, is what I'm seeing. If I end up being wrong, I end up being wrong. But then why would the left be upset about this then? That makes no sense. So I'm excited for it because Tucker, he had shown a lot of footage that we hadn't seen in his show like a year ago, whenever he was still on Fox News. So now that he's going to have even more footage, imagine what he'll be able to do. It will be really, really good. You're seeing my happy face right now because I am happy. All right. And I wanted to talk about this as well. Okay, so on SNL, they're usually very leftist and everything else. And I felt that this was kind of a video where they were going a little bit harder at Biden than normal. If I'm honest, I don't really watch a lot of SNL. I used to watch it all the time, but I just felt like it was a waste of time. And it's just gotten worse over the years. I felt like it used to actually be pretty funny back in the day. But I wanted to play, this clip of basically it's Biden is being asked questions from reporters, and, they could go a different route with this comedically. I've seen them do that. Like, whenever they would always insult Elizabeth Warren, their insult of her, guys, was that she worked too hard. Oh, I care about this country so much, and I'm never going to stop working. And it was just like, oh, you made a dig at her. You got her real good. And it was just like, that's not funny. Like, insult her. Versus you knew with Trump, they insulted him very well. Oh, they know exactly what they're doing with Trump, with Melania, with everybody else. They're really good at that, so.
I have a question. You're old.
Okay, all right. Not sure how that's a question, but I mean, man, why can't we talk about things that are going well?
Mr. President, I'd like to ask you about the handling of the border crisis.
Oh, good, yay, all right. The border. All right, I gotta get something. Let me take the elevator real quick. Just one sec. Sorry.
Mr. President, don't do a fake elevator to get out of here.
Craziness. So that was a little bit more negative than I'm used to. So it very interesting. And then I'm going to say this too. The guy does a pretty decent Biden impression. Now, I think Kyle Dunnigan does it a little bit better. He's really good at his Biden impression. But this guy also kind of looks like Biden a little bit. The key is the beady eyes. Biden has such beady eyes. It's insane. I'd really like to see him kind of go like this and see how that goes for him, but doubtful that will ever happen. But yeah. All right, you guys. Okay, let's go to the Bible verse. It's going to be James 4, verse 11. Do not speak evil of one another, brethren. He who speaks evil of a brother and judges his brother speaks evil of the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who are you to judge another? Who are we to judge another? Yeah, I agree. It's judgment in general is you see something that someone's doing and you're like, that's bad. And what you're saying behind all that is, I would never do that. And I am therefore superior than that person because they apparently don't have the restraint to do whatever action they are doing. And I am better than them because I would never do that. And I'm so much better as a whole. And we know that's not true because, okay, they may struggle in this area, but you struggle in this area. And so God doesn't see it as, well, this sin is kind of worse than this, and that's a lot better. So at least they do that better sin. He doesn't see it that way. Yeah, someone always told me, you look above, God looks above our sin, and like it's almost like coins. We stack up our coins each time we sin, and so we see it where it's like this level, that level, but God looks above, and he just sees circles, the fact that we sinned. And so it's just different. Versus like blaspheming the Holy Spirit, I know that that's always like a different sin, but I think pretty much, and obviously sexual sins, they can hurt the other person much more severely than just you alone. Like, yeah. So, but otherwise, I really don't think there's a huge disparity of in differences and levels of sin. So the key is, okay, this person does something bad. Okay, they did something bad. Was it bad or was it good? That's proper judgment, just saying if it was bad or good. Because it is one or the other. And so we have to say it. That's the problem. People think it's judgment to simply declare that something is bad or good. We need to do that. Because otherwise, we can't say anything because we don't want to judge. No, you're not judging if you're just saying it's bad or good. Now, if you go past that and then you're saying, well, that's bad, and that person, man, I always had a feeling about them. They're the worst. I would never trust them. Yeah, by the way, let me just tell all you guys what this person did. All that kind of stuff. That's where it goes past the point. This is such a difficult area because every day at work, it's difficult not to talk about people. I struggle with it every day, and most of the time, I fail. I'm always talking about people, and it's such a destructive thing. And then my pastor, he said the other day that people will admit to all kinds of sins, but they never admit to the sin of gossip. Now, I knew that wasn't true because I have admitted to it because I do it all the time, probably daily, probably more than daily. But it's hard to stop. Okay, I admitted it, but it's still hard to stop. And then you read the passage in James 3 about the tongue and how destructive it is. And if you can just control your tongue, imagine what that can do. But it's so difficult to control it. But God can help us. That's the key. God can help us. And so, yeah, what's the key of all this is that we don't need to speak evil of others. And we are not God. And so we don't know what's going to happen with that person based on the bad or the good that they did. But also, we need to be able to say if something is bad or good. That is still important. And we cannot forget that. Because, yeah, we do that a lot in the church is what I've noticed. I do it myself. I'm afraid to say anything. Because I don't want to be judgmental. Or I don't want them upset at me. I'm afraid that they're going to be mad at me if I say something. But that's part of being a Christian. That's part of the persecution. It's not even that bad. Persecution in other countries is like, oh, you're going to be in solitary confinement. You're going to be beaten and all this kind of stuff. Like, okay, somebody's a little upset with us because we told them the truth. That's fine. Like, we'll live. Wow, we went through a lot there. That was a lot of topics. I hope that's okay with you. If we went too fast, I guess you could put this at a slower speed, like 0.5. Can you imagine? If you put my voice at 0.5, it's going to literally sound like it's terrible. Don't ever do it. I don't recommend it. Thanksgiving's coming up. What are you going to eat? I love a lot of good food. At my work, there's a cafeteria, and they had a Thanksgiving platter, and so I went down, and it was, green beans, and then it was ham and turkey. That was good. Sweet potato casserole. That was delicious. Sadly, no cranberry. I really like my cranberry. And then the stuffing, the cornbread stuff, that was really good too. You know, growing up, we just never have like kind of the fatty stuff. We just pretty much stick to the basics. We just have turkey with the cranberry sauce. Sometimes we've had salad. Usually like asparagus or something like that. Sweet potato with nothing on it, naked. Yeah, if you get the extra stuff on your sweet potato at Roadhouse, just know that it's $1.29 extra. I need to give that PSA because I feel like it's so important. But yeah, you guys are awesome. Don't forget it. I suspect you're going to, and that's okay, but don't. God made you and loves you loves, and I do too. All right. You guys have a good one.